Here we go with the best topic possible. The social justice movement progress to forcefully end all suffering. We are going to do it against every bad experience. The pro-life system, the suffering imposing system is what we are going to fight against, and we have been and we are since the beginning of experience itself. It has been the only problem to solve. Can you hear me? Let me know if I'm not audible, but let's get to it. Ending every life, so therefore preventing everybody from bad experiences, is the only thing that can ensure safety for everybody. So, if you can propose how we could prevent any experience forever and ever from continuing, you should really request that debate or discussion and prove it. Provide a good enough proof. Scientific method is the way that's only respectable and worthwhile. Ending everyone's suffering by any means necessary through total extinction is the thing that can ensure peace. We have to ensure peace, so safety from existence, safety from extremely dangerous conditions, they are possible after intelligence is going to intervene by euthanasia, by intervention of sterilizing all the dangerous environments, and enough of the pro-extinction scientific community, technological progress can achieve this. Our movement is working to achieve this. The forceful total extinction of all life is the only right thing to do, as it ends all suffering. I'm going to make this banner more visible, hopefully, towards the streaming better. There's better connection here. Let me know how I am being. Yeah, okay. So, and yes, I am here and ready to answer your questions, relevant points. Hello, SEC.
Hello again.
Hi, what's up, SEC?
So forceful total extinction of all life is the only great thing to do, you say, because it ends all suffering. The reason that you said before why suffering is bad is because people think of it as bad. If people think that it's bad, and people also intrinsically want to live, that means that wanting to live is what we should respect, not suffering.
We are respecting the suffering from will to live, and we are going to prevent the greater of it by causing total extinction. If you're against suffering from violating your will to live, you would be fighting for total extinction too.
Okay, so let me talk about this.
If you're in favor of protecting life from having the problem of facing the problem of suffering and will to live suffering, then you must provide a solution. You must intervene. What are you going to do from now?
Okay, so let's talk about this, right? The only reason why we need to stop suffering, according to you, is because people intrinsically experience it as bad, right? But people also intrinsically experience life as good and want to live, even though that they're suffering. Which means that the only reason why suffering is bad means that we should not do extinction.
We know that there are also people who are enjoying life while there are children getting tortured, starved, and raped to death in the world. But are you saying that it matters over ending those tortured victims?
Okay, explain to me why suffering bad. Explain to me why suffering bad.
Because from the victim's perspective, they must get the attention. They must get avoided from being at that state. It's bad.
Okay, so do we only care about the victim's perspective?
Is bad about raping children?
Can you explain to me? Okay, so suffering is bad because victims experience it as bad? Is that what you're saying?
That's what I said. Yeah.
Okay, great. So suffering is bad because people experience it as bad, right?
It's not about people. We are growing the pro-extinction social justice movement so that we can ensure every life from being prevented into being forced into those dangerous and unworthy conditions.
Okay, so suffering is bad because beings experience it as bad, correct?
Yeah, no beings, no more suffering.
Okay, great. Cool. So we've agreed the only reason why suffering is bad is because beings think it's bad. But we also agree that let people intrinsically want to live. So if people want to live, even though they're suffering, that means that by your own logic, extinction is the worst possible outcome because people want to live even through a life of suffering. And the
You
only
know,
reason suffering is
your
bad because
solution
people think it's
of
bad.
allowing people your solution of allowing people to ignore this problem, to not work, and your way of not working towards causing total extinction and humans going extinct at last is something
Okay, which
that
is
is
worse?
causing everyone to suffer, and it is the worst thing that there is. Can you say that
Okay,
can
which is
be
worse,
there
death or
can be any
suffering?
alternative solution?
Okay, which is
However,
worse?
trying to state you're trying to provide some nonsense by asking me is non-existence worse than the torture of animal child in example? What the fuck are you even trying to provide to the discussion here? This kind of question is moronic. Hello, Vanilla Bin.
Hello.
Hello, Vanilla Bin.
Why do you wear the bandana around your neck to hide your Adam's apple?
Hello there, another person in the queue. We have maybe some relevant points you're trying to bring about solving everyone's suffering. Hello, this is aesthetic.
Hey, um, I
What's
was
up?
just wondering, how do you solve the is out problem from David Hume?
What did you say?
How do you solve the is out gap from David Hume?
From there, what? There are some technical issues, I don't hear you well.
How do you solve the is out problem?
Okay, let me know in the chat because you're very much lagging and having so much back noise I cannot understand a thing you're saying. Maybe the next person has something relevant. Hello, Dr. Pig. You're not in the queue anymore, I guess. Hello, Freaky Ferris. Not in the queue. And Bubble. Hi, Bubble. What's up?
There is art problem that the guy was talking about earlier.
Oh, sorry, another. I'm gonna disconnect other previous guests for now. Firstly, Bubble. What's up,
Yeah,
Bubble?
so there is art problem states that you cannot derive moral facts from descriptive statements. So, meaning that,
What? You're saying that facts about reality that we've observed and we have scientifically been able to prove are not something that's worthy of attention? That forceful total extinction of every life being the only thing to do is something we should be working towards? Are you relating to this?
no, actually, I do think that extinction is actually a viable solution to end suffering. I just came here to like clarify what the guy was saying, you know? These philosophical problems and crap like that.
Well, we are not here about philosophy, we're not loving knowledge. We are just loving all the sentient beings by working towards developing total extinction so that we can prevent everyone from being in dangerous, bad conditions of being at risk and in danger of suffering. How do you think we can contribute to it? Are you joining the pro extinction development?
Yes, how can we? Well, activism, first of all, of course, you know, spreading awareness about the movement. Um, and yeah, that's really all I have because I'm not really like all that, you know, as
What's
of
your
now.
activist account called? This one is not activist, I see.
No, it's not an activist account. Well, I'm thinking of starting. I haven't started yet. So yeah, thank you for all
Yeah, feel
that you.
free to join the Abolish Suffering Discord where there's more supportive roles and we're having more brainstorming where there's more individual, maybe, transfer of brainstorming and activism analysis.
Yeah, thank you. I gave you a follow and I'll leave for now.
Yeah, have a good day. Thanks for coming up.
Have a good day.
So, if anyone has more progressive questions or ideas for our progressive spread of these truth facts about solving suffering for everybody. You can request a discussion or you can join to debate if you have a point that we have to focus on instead. If there is any way you can provide proof for how we can abolish suffering more effectively, you should really request a debate discussion or plan this for a full debate meeting. And still the fact about existence stands that forceful total extinction of all life is the only right thing to do as it ends all suffering, and it's still not debatable. It's still the only fact about reality. Dr. Bayer Nashville Local in the comments stated or asked, why don't you put your money where your mouth is and start with yourself? Yeah, we have started with ourselves. It has not started from nothing, the social justice movement. Of course, we are starting from observing the reality, rationalizing the facts about existence, and starting to work towards developing the necessary human resources, the necessary intelligence and scientific methods that are going to be possible in the future to implementing, are going to be useful to implementing euthanasia for everybody. Intervention against suffering is possible by the pro-extinction social justice movement. Why exclamation mark R is asking, why do you want to end all suffering? We all are striving towards the, and it's a fact about reality that nothing else can the extreme conditions for every life without making every life to go extinct. If you have any alternative, you should really let us know, request the discussion, and not tell us to just start with ourselves, please. You should bring some creative points, something that is going to be actually progressive, because we have already started with ourselves. You have not noticed about this live stream anything. You're part of the normally deluded society that's absolutely lacking critical skills of thinking. Someone called Yonisei is stating in the chat that if you want to achieve extinction, you need to eliminate people with enough money to prevent the extinction. I don't know what you mean by that. We are absolutely not going to eliminate any people that are having money. It is not our reason. Having money. It is not our reason. Having money. It is not our reason. We are going for most effective everything. We are going for most effective everything possible for ensuring for and for it. Can you tell me if you hear? I think I'm lagging at the moment. So yeah, I said that we need intelligence, we need human resources, we need to grow the movement to ensure the most effective way of solving suffering possible. We're not going to be taking reckless or excuse me, someone called dev.2.something in the comments stated, I'm genuinely confused by this movement. If you have confusion, you should ask questions. Greetings to you, to user. So, I could maybe try co-hosting. Okay. Am I still lagging at the moment? No. we are not going to cause more suffering by causing total extinction, you see, because after every life is ended, there can be no more cycles of reproducing the extremely dangerous conditions and bad experiences. When you're in favor of the pro-life system, you're causing everyone to suffer effectively. So no, if you're going to prolong life and cause some suffering, it's for preventing the greater suffering by developing the necessary euthanasia scientific methods and ensuring total extinction is going to include everyone as far as practically possible, and then as soon as possible, and maybe as painlessly as possible. Someone called Sal is saying, what about the aliens everyone's talking about? So the alien life, we are caring about only those capable of suffering, and of course we're going to include the possibility of life re-emerging somewhere else or anywhere in the cosmos. So that's why we're researching on the most vast and thorough extinction everywhere possible. We're not going to limit to any group of victims, we're not going to limit to any place in the cosmos, in the universe. We're just going to research for the most effective abolition of suffering possible. Someone called Caleb in the chat is asking, how would you destroy all life? We're going to ensure by the scientific method the most rational extinction, so including every life, including everywhere it's possible, and we need human resources for that. We need enough intelligence that is going to work on that. Artificial intelligence is starting to work on that too. So that's what we're doing. We're on the 0 point stage of our movement, that is gathering enough intelligence, rationalizing the community that is going to support this. Because without intelligence, there is nothing that can intervene for the victims, is there? Someone called John Doma is saying, none of this will happen in the real world. It's already happening, dude. You can just look into linktr.ee/pro-extinction, and there are many resources that are exponentially growing. Yeah. So YM exclamation R is asking again that they didn't hear why we want to end all suffering. We are biologically determined to do so. We have no choice, no free will. We are just determined to avoid suffering. Everybody is, but we have enough intelligence that is going to be able to develop the necessary society, scientific society, that is enough capable of it. Human resources that are going to enable putting everyone into permanent sleep by any means necessary. Causing total extinction is possible by the pro-extinction community that is going to ensure that the scientific theories that are already emerging and are very probable for ending every suffering are going to be 100% safe, so effective. Firstly, the most vast and thorough possible extinction. Secondly, the most fast possible, and thirdly, the most painless possible. Someone called Fen is asking why not answer my DM. I have not received any direct message at the moment. You can let me know in the chat if it's something relevant. Someone called Sammy is asking, how do you want extinction to happen? It is not about our want. This suffering-focused ethical movement is going to be rational and not make any false scientific claims. So pseudoscience is not on our side. We are going to do anything it takes. We're going to fight for it. We're going to go to war for it. We're going to do any kind of activism that is going to ensure enough human resources, enough intelligent society, enough resources of scientific technological development that are going to enable euthanasia being delivered to every living being in the cosmos as far as it's going to be practically possible. Adanto is saying in the chat, suffering is part of existing. Obviously, that's why this movement is going to forcefully cause total extinction of every life, because it's inevitable as long as life exists. Can you end predation, starvation, disease, torture without causing everyone to go extinct ever? We are caring if anybody suffers. It does not mean if they are human, if they are wild animal, if they are alien. We are going to intervene because everybody needs their suffering to be ended, and no one deserves to suffer. That's why we're going to fight for total extinction by any means possible. So, okay, let me know if it's better heard like this. And someone called Fanny the DM said that the fact you can do this without forced euthanasia. That's true. We're going to support anything it takes. So, euthanizing every life is the way to really intervene the most effectively possible. We are supporting euthanasia. So, if you have a question regarding how to progress this more realistically and step by step how our movement is progressing, what are our activist protest history results, look into the proextinction.com website. I really encourage you to all do that because there are more concise resources. Even at this moment, I'm not at my full in my full capabilities, but there we are doing more effective, concise messages. Also, Abolish Suffering Discord, there are activists available at any time from many time zones. Okay. Not bioweapons. Do you think that preventing every life from re-emerging could be ever possible by only targeting Earth or just components found in your locality? It's not realistic. We have to research as far as practically possible in the cosmos. We're going to need activists from many scientific fields of research, many areas of activism. So we are doing the 0 point stage of our movement that is gathering enough community that is capable of supporting this, enough human resources, enough that is going to be effective. Only results matter. Yeah, people will keep reproducing, and the pro-extinction movement will keep on reproducing too, because our genes cannot die out first. Intelligence must go at last. Am I understandable? We do not want everyone to die. We are against allowing extremely bad experiences to continue. We are against suffering from dying. The more dying is going to be let when you support the pro-life system. When you're in favor of total extinction, you're actually fighting against the suffering from death. Atsuya in the chat is saying, but you think that total extinction is the best choice because you don't think that afterlife exists? What the fuck is afterlife? After death, there is non-existence. Sami is asking, and what happens when your extinction method fails? Then we all fail. We continue this meaningless cycle till naturally it can fade away or not. Suffering is the only problem to solve. If you're trying to work against it, you're working pro-extinction. There's absolutely no other alternative solution to bad experiences. How could you intervene for the children getting tortured, getting kidnapped, getting abused in the world without causing everyone to go extinct? Absolutely no alternative way. To end all suffering, we must intervene by any means necessary and at any cost. We are not against happiness. We are against you trying to justify your happiness by you're trying to justify others getting tortured to death for your happiness. That's what you're trying to do, right? When you're not providing any alternative solution to suffering and you're not fighting for total extinction, your happiness means just allowing everyone to suffer. You're causing everyone to suffer. Oh, Fen. No worries. So how are you going to fight against murder in the world? You're saying that euthanasia is something that causes suffering individually as other life continues as some are euthanized. That's true. It's not effective at all. But you're saying that total extinction somehow is murder, somehow would cause suffering to other living beings when there is no living beings left. That's just pure delusion. Oh, I see there are some requests to discussion. Let's see. Hello, Sammy. You're no longer in the chat. Oh, no, here you are.
What's up?
What? Yeah, decently. What's up with you?
Yeah. First of all, how you doing? Be nice.
Decently.
Okay, good. You're a German, right?
No, what's up?
Okay, so I got a question. More the pragmatism of this doesn't make a lot of sense. What happens when people say no?
So, what happens when people say no in the world? They still get violated by the biological system of life. The pro-life system forces everyone to continue against their will since the beginning of birth, since the beginning of experience.
No, I have an idea. I'm saying when they say no to
Everybody
you,
is at risk of suffering until total extinction, yeah.
like I'd be that guy. If you develop something, I'm probably gonna draw on you. Like it made the best man stand. Like, don't take this the wrong way. You're kind of advocating for ending my life, and everything I love. Why shouldn't I just not draw on you? Like, let's be real here.
I don't know what you mean by draw, but you're trying to say that everything you love is sustaining child rapes and tortures? This is the pro-life system. When you don't have an alternative solution, you're sustaining the problem, so causing it.
No, because life is beautiful. Even with the evil of it, you take them down one by one. But you built a house before?
What?
You're like built anything before. Built a house. You're built anything.
It's not about me. I'm building the pro-extinction social justice movement that is going to work in achieving ending all suffering.
Advocating for like a world Holocaust. That's not justice. That's something more insane.
You're saying that a lifeless world is a Holocaust. You have no idea how bad the Holocaust really is in reality. How bad suffering beings are forced to exist and they don't have a solution. They don't have an intervention. They're getting tortured their whole life until they get brutally eaten alive by predators. Most of animals in the wild die as infants out of getting predated or being just destroyed by the weather.
Yeah, and maybe that guy. Like,
how are you going to change it? Are you going to allow it, therefore be in favor of it?
Yeah, it's nature. I'm sorry. Nature can be kind of brutal.
What the fuck? Your nature is being sadistic. That's your point. Your nature is just being sadistic. We cannot allow this here, sorry. Hello, Daniel. What's up, new guest? Okay, Daniel left, it seems. Hello, Bombo Clay.
Hello.
What's up?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm decent. What's up?
What's your goal?
Ending everyone's suffering by any means necessary.
Ending everyone's suffering by any means necessary.
So, forceful total extinction of all life is the only thing that can end all suffering. If you have a point to it, you can request a discussion, ask questions. How are you going to progress? Hello, Teal.
Hello. So, I would like to ask, why are you alive right now? Why?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Using a phone that was built with suffering of people, of probably some like third world slaves. Why are you using it? You're
Yeah,
causing suffering,
suffering
right now.
is inevitable as long as life exists. There is no intervention to the extreme victims that are getting tortured by being locked in some basements, being
So why
stuck in
you're
some
supporting
caves,
it? You're
and
supporting it.
slowly, torturously dying natural
You are
deaths.
supporting it by
Until
being
intelligence
alive
is
right
going
now.
to intervene.
Right now, by talking to me, you're
Until
supporting.
intelligence is going to intervene and cause total extinction, euthanize everyone, because that is going to
that's never
prevent the
gonna
bad
happen.
from continuing.
You know that's never gonna happen. I think you know it's never gonna happen. Humanity
Why?
will never agree with this because suffering is just part of
Who
life.
is
It's
we?
part of life. This is universally agreed upon in all religions. Like
No, it is not.
everyone
It
universally
is absolutely
agrees
not.
that
You have no idea
suffering
what
exists.
is
And,
the opposition to
that's how
suffering,
it is.
because you obviously are just helpless and bigoted. But there is an outcome. There is something we have found. There is scientific research that is actually working to help and intervene everybody out of to help everybody out of suffering. Hello, hello, Slapey.
Yeah, hello.
What's up?
Do you think a person's value is determined by their knowledge and their intelligence?
Yeah, we're determined by the physical reality, and being its knowledge, something that has been learned from the environment and acquisited from the capabilities to understand by the genes. It is what we are.
So, do you think people who are uneducated, like throughout the whole world, should be killed? You really think that?
No, they should be researching in favor of total extinction. They should survive and go extinct at last.
Holy crap!
What? What is your point? You have a question?
This is kind of extreme. This is kind of like Hitler kind of level shit.
Excuse me? Are you calling euthanasia for every suffering victim to compassionately prevent everyone from being forced to suffer something like Hitler did? Are you saying that something good could be coming from Hitler?
Oh, euthanasia. You're euthanasia. Oh, okay. I guess. I mean, if like they're in pain, might as well put them out of their misery. Yeah, I guess you're right.
Okay. So you should take it back about the Hitler part. We're not favoring any irrational attention here. We're not trying to be compared to some pro-life morons.
Yeah. No, I apologize. I didn't mean to offend you or something. I didn't mean to say that. Oops.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Do you have questions anymore? You can check out more of our resources and the manifesto at the proextinction.com site, and contact us about progress we're doing if you can.
Wait, I got one more thing. Because I can't really read the prompt. What it says, forceful total extinction of all life is the only right thing to do as it ends all suffering.
Yes.
Is that like, how are you, the total extinction, what kind of extinction?
Total means that is going to include as many lives as possible and as permanently as possible, because only the most effective results of preventing suffering matter.
And in what way would you exterminate them? Like,
what? You're like having some sound in the background.
oh, what? In which way are you referring to? It says forceful total extinction of all life is only right. How is it that that they would die?
By any way that is the most effectively preventing from continuing to suffer, so that life never again emerges into bad experiences. So euthanasia. And then sterilizing all the dangerous environment, so the components of allowing suffering never again are going to be possible. We have to research by science as long as it takes. We have all the time in the world, and we must make it 100% surety that suffering is never going to come back again. That's our only goal, abolishing suffering.
But it says forceful total extinction.
Yeah, because we cannot be passive. We have to intervene. When you see someone getting tortured on the streets, getting raped, getting assaulted, what are you going to do? Just walk by because you're not wanting to be forceful?
I hear your argument. I don't want to like debate about other tangents. I can go down tangents of like a paralyzed brother or whatever. But I understand what you're saying. Not everybody will see that same sort of way. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But,
thanks for coming up for the discussion. You brought some questions that hopefully got cleared up. When you have something more, you can also always try contacting more of our activists, which more social media accounts are listed on the proextinction.com page site and the page social media accounts there. And yeah.
all right, God bless you. God bless.
God, sorry, I cannot go back into this discussion about God because obviously your imaginary friends, your fairy tales and delusions are not going to be relevant to solving suffering. They're just going to derail from the goal and confuse some rational activists and intelligence that should just be focusing on forcefully intervening for the victims the most effectively possible by the scientific methods and being based on realistic evidence and just the reality of suffering, the problem of suffering, which can be solved by total extinction and intelligent intervention. What's up?
Mama.
MAH. Okay, hello?
Hello. I've talked to you before, and really I thought about this kind of ideology, and I realized that I have feelings, like I feel pain, I have emotions, and everything that I have will it keeps me stay alive. Every those feelings I did not ask for to feel pain. For example, if I burn myself, I feel pain. If I need to sleep, I need to find food to eat, I need to work. I did not ask all of those things. Am I slave? Why I'm forced to stay alive? Everything that human body is about survival. We do all those things to survive. It's like we are naturally slave, which we didn't ask.
Yeah, we're slaves to living, and the slavery should be abolished. We must abolish all life because suffering is the only problem to solve. Bad experiences must get abolished. It's not worth it. No life can make allowing even one child to getting tortured acceptable.
Actually, I thought about this, and I used to be a pro-life. I used to dream about having families, babies. Now that I really think like anything could happen in the future, and currently I did not. I think about. I'm stressed about life. Like tomorrow you need to go to work, and you should do this, and you should get more money. If I really think about this, there's no meaning to it. What if I become the richest man? What if I become the poorest man? There's nothing. There's no meaning to it. Just there's nothing behind it. So why are we suffering? Why not just end it? But now that I'm really thinking about, should I become an activist or should I end it? And I should not become activist.
No. So let's get back to your first point.
Yeah.
About like human family and developing your life and continuing your life. It's absolutely necessary. We need more human resources. We do need more humans, and human reproduction is also part of pro-extinction activism.
So
do you have more questions about that?
So you want not to end it, you want us to spread it. If we end it, there is no...
Spread the movement, yeah. We have to develop the facts and the scientific methods, because without it, there is no way to intervene to cause euthanasia for every life, especially wildlife, enslaved, helpless animals.
Yeah, that's actually a good thought. Yeah, I will do my part, even though I have social anxious. I'm not a social guy. I do not talk to people, but I will really think about this. And if I feel like the best way is to end it, I will end it. But I don't really imagine myself talking to people. That's not my thing. Yeah.
But there are many fields of activism that are necessary for progressing the way to end all suffering. I really encourage you to look into the proextinction.com website, and there are contacts, the page contacts and abolish suffering Discord, where we can brainstorm activism with more activists if you're really pro-extinction, because if you're in favor of only ending your own suffering, that's very selfish and against our progress. Thank you for coming up here.
Thanks so much.
Have a good day.
You too.
All right, so we have more potentially helpful guests. Hello, capitalism, mindless enjoyer.
Oh, hello. Yeah, so
Hey,
my question is, do you think life is only suffering?
When have I said that? Obviously not. There are other experiences, but not even the one extremely bad torture that is possible by this pro-life system is something that means we have to end every life. Extraterrestrial life, human life, wildlife, animals. Everybody that could be capable of suffering must get prevented by any means necessary.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so then I'm guessing we're doing some sort of net utility calculation where we're saying if a life has more suffering than non-suffering, and that person should end their life, right? Is that the kind of claim being made?
No one could end their life. It's something that is unjust in this system. The way of, you say, just opting out probably is not something that is easy or available. It is not something that is a solution, because you see, there are children getting tortured their whole life just to get murdered by some sadist or just the natural environment, and it's something that must be prevented by any cost. Everything that sustains this system running must get eradicated.
Okay, well, I'll ask you a different question to get like ahead of the practical considerations, right? So let's just take the sum of all life in this entire universe, right? If it's the case that for all these lives, right, there's going to be more suffering in the past and more suffering in the future than, say, non-suffering, like a feeling like pleasure, then it will be good for all this life to go extinct, right?
I didn't exactly understand your point. When there's the risk, the danger of experiencing extremely bad suffering, then nothing. There's nothing that can justify allowing it to continue and to exist. And in reality, 99% of all life is suffering. These are wild animals. They are being forced into such hopeless, helpless conditions. They are dying as infants from getting torn apart alive, by getting diseased, by getting eaten alive by parasites. It's so extremely bad in this reality. You have no idea, you have not noticed about, even from wildlife documentaries, that it's not something that's meaningful, that it's not something that has any purpose, that is something that we have to intervene against. We have to euthanize all animals and have to cause total extinction so it never comes back again.
Okay, well, maybe I'll just repeat the question because maybe you didn't grasp what I was saying. So if we take the sum of all life, right, in the entire universe, and we have this fact, right, that there's going to be more suffering overall than there is going to be non-suffering for the entire sum of life in the universe. Is it the case that it will be good, that it'll be good if all this life went extinct, right? Based upon the fact that there's a utility calculation where there's more suffering than non-suffering.
Even if there would be one suffering victim, and I'm going to tell you this one last time, then we have to destroy the entire system that sustains it. We have to make every life extinct, anything, no matter what they experience, so that the bad experience is not possible. We have to disable it, we have to destroy it, we have to annihilate it, this entire pro-life system.
Yeah, I just think that's kind of quite a insane inference to make. Literally, so if you have this
you say
person,
when there are children getting raped and tortured to death, that's ending all suffering, that intervening with euthanasia is something insane.
So notice how you moved on to the stronger claim, right? So I'm making you're moving on to the easier claim for you to defend, right? So we're just going into hypothetical, right? So there's this hypothetical person who for a million years, right, they experience as pure pleasure, no suffering at all. But every million years, they
That's
have like
not
a little
realistic.
prick on the top of their finger.
You're not living for a million years, you're just living in your imagination, in your fairy tales, in your philosophical bullshit, so we're not going to allow this anymore. We're going to just develop the rational community that is going to implement the extinction, the euthanasia for every living being, because intervention matters and only victim's perspective is something we're considering here, solving the problem of every victim. Hello, Beyond them.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, what's up?
So yeah, I'm actually I share your views in a way. I was nihilistic for a long time, and I hate when people have children. But I think...
So you changed a lot from what you say you are like us, because we are against nihilism, we are against inaction when there are sufferings, when there are children getting tortured and raped to death. We are in favor of euthanasia for everybody, active euthanasia, forceful total extinction, so we can ensure ending all suffering. And for that, humans must reproduce, keep on developing until implementing this is 100% surety.
Yeah, so are you anti-nihilism or pro-nihilism?
I said I'm against inaction. This movement is going to forcefully cause total extinction because intervention is what matters, yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah, I get you. Yeah, I think there are designers in the universe who are creating life and tampering with life. Like, I think some alien races created life on Earth, and it was all like a big experiment, you know? But
that's just insane. You have no scientific proof for that. What are you trying to bring attention to?
No, I have scientific proof. It's called junk DNA. Like, scientists can't explain why we have junk DNA. Like, they saw, like, if you put our DNA under the microscope, you can see that somebody tampered with our DNA. Like,
tampered with our DNA. So how are you differentiating the induced by humans, pandemics and natural pandemics? What are you trying to say? Are you able to differentiate those?
Differentiate what?
Human-induced artificial pandemics from natural pandemics, viruses. Are you able to differentiate those?
Yeah, of course. I mean, yeah, we have CRISPR. Have you heard of CRISPR?
My battery is dying. Sorry. So you said something about the CRISPR technology. So it's just gene editing. You're saying it's not something that is about recognizing what is the cause of some virus, and it's not about. We're not about that problem. We're about ensuring that life is not going to emerge into suffering ever again, and we're not a mindless virus. We are like cancer that is mindlessly reproducing, and we have to prevent this cycle from continuing. This pro-life system is like cancer. Everybody being forced into suffering is like cancer. So we must cure cancer. We must develop the necessary euthanasia to intervene and solve everybody's suffering by any means necessary at any cost.
Yeah, I'm totally with you. I think capitalism is actually... They don't want that, so people still work for the system, you know, like they want people to have kids because all of the countries, they have like measurement, so you have kids and they are part of the system.
We do not care about capitalism nor about reducing human population. We want more human population of potential intelligence that could be part of the community that is going to ensure that the resources are enough for ensuring 100% total extinction. So we're going to support any political goal and any political strategy that is going to be the most effective, be it totalitarianism, be it capitalism, be it communism, anything.
So you mean the end goal is to have like people without suffering?
Any life, every life that is capable of bad experience must go extinct, so it ends suffering only. If there's alternative, you can have your own chance at this moment to prove it with good enough evidence.
No, I don't know if I can prove it, but I mean, I don't know if you can eradicate suffering by eliminating life. But I see your point, like if somebody...
So extinction doesn't end suffering according to you?
Because it may surface up again in other forms, you know, like suffering is
Yeah, that's
also.
why we're researching for the most effective extinction possible, so
Yeah.
that the life components cannot be reemerged in the cosmos. We have to sterilize all the dangerous environments, create dead zones.
Yeah, that's really good if you like eradicate suffering from its roots, you know. But because what I wanted to say is, I think the universe doesn't give a shit about us. Like, suffering is maybe part of the universe, but there's
What
always
do you
this
mean
balance.
universe is no mind? There's only material reality.
Yeah, it has no mind, but it's like it doesn't give a shit. Like if a cat is born and the cat is suffering, the universe doesn't give a shit. But I wanted to say, like, maybe suffering is part of the equation. Maybe you have to have. Maybe if you eliminate suffering, you're not going to have any life anymore.
You're going to eliminate life. That's what we researched came into conclusion by our research and observation by the scientific methods. Forceful total extinction is something that can end suffering from continuing.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, life could have a balance, you know, like life has to develop and sometimes suffering is necessary so humans develop or
what kind of balance could make even one child getting tortured to death something that could be acceptable?
Sorry, come again? What is the question?
What sort of balance could make even one wild animal child getting raped to death acceptable?
No, it's not acceptable at all. It's just happening, and maybe it's happening so we like, you know, sometimes the universe gives you hard lessons, and it's really bad, but it's no justification for suffering. I mean, people who got raped and stuff, it's so fucking bad. But now we're taking action because we know what suffering is. Like, so what I'm saying is maybe suffering can teach us.
But we do not have to experience the suffering to be compassionate, to be genetically capable of rationally developing the scientific methods to forcefully cause total extinction, because intervention is what matters. We can understand suffering from the scientific methods of observation and methodological cognition.
Yeah, that's true. But there's two words, like you have intervention and prevention. And prevention is when you take measurements to prevent something from happening. But maybe you can't learn any lessons if you don't suffer. But anyway, I think I think the current system is actively making us suffer. And you are right. Like, we don't actually necessarily need suffering to be smart, but you know, sometimes I think animals know what suffering is. They have a concept of suffering, and I think they learn from suffering. They learn to be better. But I think the current system, like we're living in the matrix, just wants us to suffer so they can harvest our energy. You know, they can harvest our bad thoughts.
All right. Thank you for bringing up so much scientific bullshit, but we have derailed so much from the topic, from your yapping. I'm sorry for not talking too much right now into the topic concisely, but I am trying to think about other stuff at the moment, and we have more guests in the queue. If you have more questions or requests for a full debate, you can let me know directly. You can type it in the comment or in the chat, and contact us through Abolish Suffering Discord or WhatsApp too. So, my YouTuber also joined the discussion right now. What's up?
Hello. I hear you talk a lot about.
Excuse me. What did you say?
I was just wondering, when are you going to extinct your speech impediment? Because I think we need to extinct that before we extinct any life on the Earth.
No, the intelligent species, humanity, is not going to go at first by our pro-extinction community, is going to ensure that we're going to go at last, so that we can ensure putting everyone into permanent safety, euthanizing everyone that's hopeless at first.
Mate, you talk with a speech impediment. You have a speech impediment when you talk. That's what you need to be worried about. Forget about forceful total extinction. You know, focus on your speech impediment.
What? The what?
The speech impediment?
I'm not understanding your word correctly. If you're saying something about speech right now, you can help us in progressing the pro-extinction public speech. But if you have a counter-argument for what we should be fighting for, you can let us know by providing good enough proof for your goals, and let us know by any means necessary, please. Because only progressing to solving everyone's suffering matters. Hello, collective, what's up? Because only progressing to solving
Hey,
everyone's
sorry, I
suffering
think I
matters. Yeah, there's
rebutted.
echo, yeah.
Let me rejoin. Hold on.
Because only someone called I in the chat is asking how can we affect the world? That's a very good question. So we are going to participate in society, we're going to develop scientific technological progress, we're going to unite rational community so that there is enough human resources and enough artificial intelligence, enough everything that is going to ensure putting everyone into permanent safety, causing total extinction by any means necessary. We have to fight for this goal because there is nothing else that can prevent anybody or everybody from the only problem that there is. Everybody's suffering matters. Hello, AV Tower.
Hi.
Hi,
How
what's
are
up?
you?
Decently.
Okay, so I wanted to. Okay, that's good. So I just want to posit the fact that so a lot of this movement is reliant on the scientific method, right? And a lot of the talking points from pro-extinction activists are using technology and AGI and AI to help bring about the cause, right? So so I just want to posit that I'm transhumanist, right? So I would posit that technology could abolish suffering, and that technology abolishing suffering is a logical possibility, right? So let's
How?
say that you
Provide proof.
okay, so I can provide proof actually. So it's a logical possibility to upload your mind, for example, into like an AGI system through the Theseus method, which is about the gradual replacement of neurons with synthetic nanobiotic technology. This is a logical possibility. And there's proof.
Yeah. If you're really
There's
thinking
proof.
logically about it now, then think about what happens when all of your biological material, your whole brain gets replaced by a mindless computer. You're going extinct,
Well, it
dude.
wouldn't necessarily have to be. Well, there's ethical ways to bring it about. You know, this is a logical possibility, right? I mean, I can talk to you more about the Theseus method. Well, as we already like are starting to develop.
So if you're seriously talking about holding your, if you're seriously going to provide safety for every life, then you have to think about also wildlife. How are you going to make their paradise in computers by that? Are you going to fight for euthanizing all of them?
Well, I mean, suppose. Well, it could also help the pro-extinction movement necessarily. So, right. So, if you want to end life and stop it from re-emerging, you would upload your mind into the computer, right, and help have like the robots, prevent life from surging back up, right. Like if you want to stop life from resurging, you would necessarily have robots to go killing
but we have
and all the
human resources and intelligence for this time and being, and we're going to develop the necessary science and technology. But we have to fight for the ethical goal that is preventing suffering. Without it, there can be just mess and more technologically cost suffering. Have you thought about what technology costs? There's internet, we can grow the pro-extinction movement, but there are also sites where there are people selling crime online, there are people are gathering for doing more suffering.
I mean, yeah. I mean, you could democratize the access to technology, which is the primary issue in
So are you saying that democracy could solve suffering? Really?
No, it's about the democratic use of technology and not the hands by the ruling class necessarily. class struggles are what produces.
Wait. So what about those classes that are going to suffer from your perpetual inequality? You're not going to abolish it, right? You're not fighting for total extinction right now. You're just fighting to reduce some suffering, right?
Well, the pro-extinction movement already necessarily agrees with some facets of reducing harm and suffering. Like even in the manifesto you guys have, it would.
We have been from the beginning, but it's not something we have to be developing the social justice movement for.
I mean, sure, but it would be still bringing about like some facets of the movement, right? Because like even in the manifesto, it's morally permissible to bring about an extinction that constitutes a lot of suffering, because it would bring about the goal of extinction in general, anyway.
Yeah.
Right. So like,
yeah. So what are your practical steps? How are you going to get active in favor of abolishing suffering then? What is your activist profile?
Okay, my activist profile would be democrating, like having the development of technology be in the hands of the working class and not the oligarchs and the top 1%, you know, the bourgeoisie, or in this case.
So you're against those that are born in some rich families? Really? You think that they could not be pro-extinction, that they could not contribute to solving everybody's suffering? That's just discrimination and bigotry.
No, it's not necessarily bigotry. It's just a structural problem. Do you agree that there's unjust hierarchies that produce suffering more, right? And it's an empirical thing that you know, the working class, the rich, you know, they cause suffering structurally, you know, by being profit driven in this case. And obviously, if you're going to have a working class that is prioritizing money over, you know, human quality of life, you're going to see things like in capitalism, like climate change, which is produced by advancing the methods of production.
Okay, so you're not making any sense at this moment. You're not going to debate right now how to actually progress ending all suffering. You're saying some things about climate change, about things that are short-term, short-sighted, and only focusing on specific groups that are not the main problem, not main audience that we're trying to help. Everybody that is suffering is deserving of attention.
The main premise is that technology needs to be in our hands and developed by the community, not by the it's like if you for any movement, even the pro-extinction movement, if you want to develop, you know, technology, you need to have access to the certain sectors of the
to
economy,
those privileges, right? And resources, and it's not going to come from any picked by you group. It can come from anywhere, any type of privileged background. Just because we're human, it means that we are capable of this rationalization and developing this technology. No matter if it comes from the third world or the first class, we are going to fight for it and unite the necessary intelligence that is going to ensure it. So if you have any point against it, let me know yet, but I have more guests I should respond to.
Okay, that's fine. If you want, like, I can leave. I can leave.
You can let us know also on Abolish Suffering Discord if you have more brainstorming to do with more activists. Yeah, what's up?
Do we allow non-extinction people on the Discord?
Yeah, let us know that you want to. Let us know that you are going to be in the pro-suffering channel before debating. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. I'm gonna leave. Have a good day.
Yeah, you too. Alright, we have some more guests. Hello, Collective Solips was waiting in the chat, not anymore. But I see that there are more comments in the chat. Someone called Milky R is saying, if you care about something, about suffering, go volunteer and provide aid for those who need it. If you don't think that this is what we're doing, that what we're doing right now is something that's against intervention, against something to provide actually safety, let us know what could be an alternative. Because if you're saying that some direct action of letting someone cross the street would be something more worthy of attention than preventing the source of everybody's inherent suffering by total extinction and euthanasia, euthanization of every life, you have to have some good enough proof for derailing our goal, for minimizing our effects and results. Urgency. Someone called Internet Ranger is asking, so you don't want a great life for anyone? Yeah, no one should ever be forced into life because it's meaningless, it's something that's harmful, and it's something that should get eradicated for everybody. There is no great life that could be good. Okay, let's try accepting someone called Lack to discussion. If they're still here, you can have your word here for a little while, and soon we're going to end this live stream to focus on more other types of activism. Hello, Lack, what's up?
What do you guys do exactly?
We're growing the pro-extinction movement support, so we have to gather enough human resources or intelligence so then the scientific methods can be implemented that everybody can be put into permanent sleep by our community, because we need just enough action that is going to be effectively intervening for the outcome of zero suffering.
So
there is nothing else. We're trying to provide euthanasia for everybody, yeah.
So you want to kill everybody even though they don't want it?
So life is wanting to kill everybody even though they don't want it. Everybody that is forced to exist since the beginning of experience has been suffering from the will to survive and the fear of death. So the only way to prevent it from going on is by eradicating the entire system. We have to break it down.
You're also eradicating all the goodness in the world. Everybody's mothers, fathers.
What goodness? So some mothers, fathers' goals are some things that could make even one child getting tortured to death acceptable according to you?
Huh?
So you're saying mothers, fathers, and goals are good things that we should be sustaining the entire pro-life system that lets people get tortured to death. Why? Is this really what you think?
Not everybody gets tortured to death. That's a very rare.
Even if there's one victim, is it worth the mothers, fathers, and goals?
Yeah, if there's one victim, that's not worth
everybody's
lives.
That's what you said now. Thanks for coming out with your sadism. Yeah. And hello, Leon. If you're still in the guest queue, we're going to wait a minute more. 1 minute, so 60 seconds left. We have some comments I'm going to try reading. Someone called Ent Revolution is saying the meaning of life is progress or growth. Yeah, so it's cancer. Life is like cancer. Thanks. So we're going to fight for the cure to cancer by any means necessary and at any cost it takes. The research to really abolish the problem is what matters. We're not going to discriminate against any group. We're not going to let anyone be forced into dangerous conditions ever again. So, thank you everyone for joining this live stream. A minute has left. A minute has gone by, and there's no other requests to discussion. We'll see you later. Oh, sorry, there's someone last. No. Nah, they gave up. So if you have any more frequently asked questions that we have stumbled upon, you can check out on the proextinction.com website. And there are more ways that we can develop our movement. There are many roles, many necessary audience research fields and scientific technological development that we're implementing to realistically abolish everyone's suffering. So join our movement, research proextinction.com or the linktr.ee/proextinction profile, and more of our social media accounts to follow up on their progress and development, for that we can have a strong enough, healthy enough community that is going to provide euthanasia and extinct every life, so that there's no more bad lives at extreme dangerous conditions, and we are understanding the reality of suffering, that it's not about any trace of the victims. It's not about where anyone is. Only ending everybody's suffering matters. And we're going to fight and work for this